Righty guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Ironman. I don't mean to bait you, but this is still the previous purple chest I got last episode, in which we got our third Elodinus ward. Fantastic. Definitely in a TOA groove at the moment, and to start this video off today, I think what we're going to do is put on a path for the very first time. I'm doing 300 invocations, but if you take a look here, I never equip any of these. The one I'm going to select first is Walk the Path. This will give me 50 invocation, and if completed successfully, will allow me to upgrade my disgusting little backpack here. I think it'll look like a nice little upgrade compared to what we've got at the moment. This is the first cosmetic that I kind of feel like I want to chase down, but according to ChatGPT, if I can get 350s done at an average of 36 minutes, in comparison to a 30-minute 300, at that point, it would be worth switching. So I want to test out if a 350 is possible for yours truly, or if the time invested each run is even worthwhile. But that's the first experiment I'm going to run this episode, but we definitely have a lot in store. To max this account, I need 3 more 99s, and my plan for this video will be to get all 3, max the account, and get myself at least 1 purple per 99 that I get. So no matter what happens, we're going to make some gains. And when it comes to skilling, it'll be the final gains this account ever makes. At least in the sense of gaining levels on this account. We can always turn on those virtual levels, I don't know how I feel about those. But yes, time to get ourselves a 350 completion, and see if we can get ourselves a nice little backpack upgrade to start things off. I think my approach is going to be, when I finish the first 2 rooms on the eastern side, I'll go into the room which has the highest level to it. This mechanic is new to me, so my understanding is that I'm going to have to remember minimum 5, maybe even 6 in the Simon Says little puzzle, so hopefully I don't get binned by that. And then Zabak, I have no idea what leveling that thing up even does. It seems like Walk the Path is very RNG heavy. Like, I've gotten to Zabak and he's only level 1, which is totally manageable, but I can imagine when you pop out after doing the 2 eastern ones, Baba and Kefri, these guys could be level 3 or 4 at some point, but I don't know like how that is determined. And like the total like correct course of action and how you should proceed. I think we'll just go live for this one. But the good news is we're 21 minutes outdone. This is maybe 1.5 minutes slower than I'd normally expect. So from here on out, there's no changes that need to be made. I don't think there's any buffs that wardens get. So I think I might just lock in for this and it should be home and hosed. There we go. Something of an expert. Now that, I don't know if it's placebo or not, but that did not feel comfy. I feel like my warden section went on forever just now. The mechanics are no different, but the amount of zeros I was hitting, I swear, just something felt a little bit wonky. Now I don't know if that unique chance is based on the old rate, I don't know if this plugin's been updated, but that's a pretty damn high % chance. Let's see if we can translate that into something beautiful. Not the case, but we are guaranteed, of course, to get ourselves the Missouri crafting kit. That is the ornament kit, or whatever you'd like to call it, that will allow me to upgrade my backpack. So I think I'll take that, put that in my inventory, put the rest of that in the bank, waste absolutely 0 time, and we can convert this with this, I believe. Just kidding, I need a damn needle. Alrighty, needle has been located, let's do it. Missouri kit on the Abers assembler. It looks like a burnt chicken or something that's still standing up on top of a stick or something. Yeah, condolences to that chicken or whatever this is. What a weird looking icon in the inventory. Maybe if we completely smother that with this. But this will give us a better looking upgrade here. I don't know if I'm convinced about the 350s. I really do feel in this invocation, I had the best case scenario and it still felt a bit weird. So I'll probably stick to 300s for a bit. But it's good to know that I can do the 350s if I'd like to. And maybe I can switch back and forth. If I ever get too bored, I can up the difficulty. If I get too stressed, I can bring it back down. Thanks to the gigabuffed EXP rates that we're getting at Zabak, we've got ourselves another little mini milestone, that being 65 million ranged experience. Getting a little bit better with the prayer flicking, as you can see on your screen here. Level 2 apparently is just out of my depth. I can do it like most of the time. Of course, this is kind of highlights, or in my case, lowlights. But once again, dying with 118 health, I think you need to drink every time that happens. On second thoughts, that may be dangerous. No way. I actually got something. I was really worried that these 355s just weren't worth it, but in this moment, it feels like they kind of might be. So my actual plan for this video was to get 399s and a purple after each one, but because I'm enjoying TOA more than I thought I would, I thought, you know, stuff it. I'll begin the video with a purple, get my first 99 and get our second one. So after we pull ourselves a shadow here, we'll be working on construction. This is the one that will take the most time, but there is light bearer number 7. Can never get enough of those. Kind of sad. I kind of want to keep sending TOA. Like, I'm kind of addicted at the moment, but I need to stick to my plan. Otherwise this video will never get created. The idea is I'll go in order from what will take the longest to what will take the least amount of time. So we'll do construction, fire making, and then finally fletching. I'm going to go ahead and do some mahogany homes, not realizing that I haven't really paid attention to my bank in a long time. I only have 16 steel bars to my name. So we're going to have to head to the blast furnace. I should probably camp here while I talk, so it's going to drain my coffer. But I've also only got about 1,000 coal in my bank as well. So I'm hoping that 1,000 coal can get me by, because if not, I guess I'll have to procure some more. I think the good thing about mahogany homes is in general, I can't find my tab. That is not the tab I'm looking for. You don't really use too many steel bars. So if I get 1,000, I think in theory, right, I should be fine to get to 99 from there. I guess we'll find out. There we go, all the coal has been processed. I bought a little extra just in case I need it randomly for a quest or something. Speaking of which, I probably should wrap those up. I think I've got 5 quests to go, but that is not the objective for today. We'll leave that for next time. So we now should have over 1,000 steel bars. I also found out the hard way that the hammer that you get from Hallowed Sepulchre, it's a hammer, but it doesn't work. It doesn't function for construction, so I got a little bit baited by that, but I think aside from this, I don't have a whole lot of mahogany planks. I might use the ones I have before making some more, because I know the process to make them isn't fun. So if I can kind of break that up a little bit and do mahogany homes, I don't know. They're both not fun, but if I use a bit of variety, I don't know how to mentally kind of frame this. I'm going to be doing mahogany homes for a long time, so if I can do it for a little bit and then have it broken up with something that's similarly unfun maybe when I go back to doing it, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to mentally grasp the fact that I need to do mahogany homes for a couple days straight. I'm really struggling, but it needs to be finished, and I need to make my damn house in this game. The planks I had in the bank were almost enough to get me to my next level, but unfortunately we've gone completely out of stock. I need to grab myself a steel bar for this final one. I think after I've completed this task, I'll have to go back to a PvP world. Hopefully I don't die, and get myself some more mahogany planks. I've got about 10,000 logs in the bank. I've also got what is ever on the Miscellanea Island. It's been a long time since I've checked that, but until I've burnt through these 10k, I'm not even going to check my kingdom, because I don't want to like overwhelm myself. If I check that kingdom and there's another 10,000 logs in there, I'm just going to die on the inside. So we'll segment things as much as I can. I'm really glad I did this batch of like 2k before doing anything else. I can get this out of the way, forget I ever did it, and by the time I finish making the planks again, I might have a bit more stamina recharge to actually keep going and training the skill, because yeah, mahogany homes, I don't know why, it just is not my favorite activity at all, but I guess I can squeeze one more task out before I head over to a PvP world. I don't know if this mechanic has changed, but I feel like this is happening a lot. Like, this dude is just slow as shit and he's not putting my things in the bank. I have to manually tell him to go in there, deposit the planks, wait for him again before I can give him logs. So I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, if they've changed how this works, but I'm going to try out a different method involving the Ring of the Elements. I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure I'd have enough Guardians of the Rift swag or whatever you require to buy it, so hopefully that is indeed the case, and this method isn't too bad. It looks like you can increase the speed per hour with that method. Like, what is this? Like, I have to wait so long. It's not normally twice in a row this occurs, but I feel like if you do it too quickly, he just doesn't have enough time to put it in the bank. So yeah, I'm going to play around with this other method. If I can figure that out, I'll explain it instead of trying to fumble my way through explaining it now that I've never done it. But with the log basket and the plank sack, I think that is 2 items that'll help me speed up that method. So I'm going to play around with it, see if it's a bit faster than this, because something has got to be better than this. The last time I did this, it wasn't this bad. Feels weird to come back here. If I check in with my pearl count, I think the ring costs what, 3k or something? Let's take a look over here. Ring of the Elements, never mind, it's 400. I think we should be fine. So we'll buy one of these, we'll charge things up like so. I think you need 1 of each element plus 1 law rune. Let's add 1,000 charges for now. Hopefully I can remove those charges if this method doesn't work. So I feel like 1k, pretty dispensable. Not going to miss it in the bank. Part of me wants to just keep it in my inventory, but yeah, the essential thing is to teleport to the Earth Altar. So I'm going to swap my left click to be the Earth Altar indeed. And then once I figure out all my menu entry swapping, I'll report back for the log basket and the plank sack. So I think I've got the hang of it. This isn't an intuitive method, at least when it comes to interfacing with these two items here. But if I'm to start from scratch, the essential method works like this. We withdraw our logs. Unfortunately, we can't really interface with these two items the way we want from our bank, so we have to close that, fill the log basket, grab our second inventory, teleport with the ring of the elements, and once we get to the sawmill plank maker, we're going to have a similar clunky experience. So we'll make these into planks. This will pop it into the plank sack. Thankfully, that just happens automatically. We then have to right click and click check, get the extra logs out of that, make the planks again, and then go to the bank. I'm sure after repeated trips of this, like that muscle memory kicks in, but this is a clunky ass process. And once we get to the bank, deposit all, and then we empty to inventory, deposit all again, and then we repeat the entire process. It's very clunky. It could be very quick though if you got good at it. So I'm going to lock in, try and get all of these planks done. Maybe I can, I can't be bothered tracking. Oh, I'm going to have to, I've said the words out loud. I'm going to see how many planks I can turn in, or how many logs I can turn into planks over the next, I don't know, 30 minutes. So I'll keep track via this, and then we'll check in then. Alright, maybe we'll start at the 11-minute mark. Empty to inventory, bang. So what, we have 9133 logs to start with. I'll check in with you when it hits around the 41-minute mark. Why do I do this to myself? We're getting towards the 30-minute mark now. I might be kind of cutting myself off of half a minute or so, but I think this will give us a good reference point. The only thing I've really changed is that I've changed my shift left click on the log basket to be the check option. That way, when we get to the sawmill, what we can do is kind of speed that little process up of extraction just a little bit. Otherwise, I find like extracting the planks from the plank sack to be a bit weird, so I slow it down when I'm in the bank interface. But essentially, we'll do this, hold down shift, do that, get out additional planks, and that's kind of about the pace that you can expect. I'm making a lot of mistakes, making less and less as I do this more and more, but I definitely found that at the beginning I was forgetting to fill a sack up or like forgetting to empty whatever, but I think over time I'm getting the method down, and I totally forgot to actually look attentively to the amount of logs I've got left in the bank. So we'll finish up this trip here. I'm sure your eyeballs probably paid attention to it, but for my own kind of evidence, so we're at about 9133 I believe is what we were before. I don't have to exit that to finish that, and now we're at neat 6k, so that makes math easy. About 3100 done in 30 minutes. We double that for the hour, 6200. So yeah, if you're new to this method, you can, I don't know, expect somewhere in the realm of 6,000. If you're better than I am, which you probably will be, you could probably get up to 7k, maybe even more. But pretty cool little method. You don't have to be in a PvP world. And I believe the cost of making the planks will be cheaper as well. So a lot of wins across the board there. I'm glad I stumbled across this. It's kind of a blessing in disguise that the Demon Butler was being a slow little pleb in my house. So I don't know, happy little accident. Glad I stumbled across this. I think another thing about this method that is kind of nice is it kind of reminds me of like old school rune crafting where you couldn't actually interface inside the bank menu. It's a bit weird that a plank making activity feels more like rune crafting than rune crafting does at the moment. I remember like being, I don't know, kind of proud if I could keep up my XP rates, you know, making nature runes at the abyss. If you get towards 25k experience, that was always a good little crowning achievement, and none of that was through bank interfacing. So I don't know, just kind of like exiting the bank interface to refill the log basket in particular. It's kind of nostalgic in a weird way. Now, with that said, I probably wouldn't change anything because, you know, filling up pouches from the bank is definitely a nice quality of life, but it's definitely a throwback to experience the game in a kind of old school fashion. And in this instance, you can see an example of me screwing up, not paying attention, and only bringing one inventory when I should have bought two. But such is life, that'll happen from time to time. Now, I hate to say it, and at the risk of sounding like a dork, I kind of enjoy this method. Old school, like, rune crafting, I kind of miss it, and it's not until I've actually done this that I do kind of miss that experience. So this has been a nice little throwback. The only thing that's depressing is that I'm not getting any rune crafting experience whatsoever, but I guess it doesn't matter too much because the skill's already 99. But this will be the final inventory that we do. We'll have all the planks that we need from here. And I guess one last thing that I've done for a bit of a gameplay update is I've also made my shift left click check for the plank sack as well. I was finding that I was accidentally left clicking this thing instead of my log basket, so I made it something that wasn't empty, just to reduce, if I did make an error, I could minimize the error, if that makes sense. So let's check in with the bank now. Let's put all of these planks away, and we should have, what, close to 11k? So I don't know if this is going to get me to 99. It will do a massive chunk though, and that's the main thing. And I think by the time that I've used all of these, maybe I can spend my points, buy some of the baskets, and hopefully those rewards can elevate the amount of mahogany planks I get. Also got some teaks, but God knows there is just an infinite supply, more than enough for 99, ready to go in my kingdom. So I'm going to go back into mahogany homes, try and cap off 96, and then we'll go from there. I was thinking of like, why don't I like this? I feel like going upstairs in the houses is the thing that I hate the most. Whenever I get a house in Felidor, I believe there's one to the southeast, I don't mind it because it doesn't have like an upstairs, but I feel like going upstairs and then downstairs just makes things a bit clunky. But regardless, this skill, it's pretty quick, so I can't complain too much. And we're going to get ourselves 96 construction. I thought I'd have to talk to Larry, but again, nobody likes Larry, so we don't even need to speak to this guy. Although we probably should. At least I'll take his cup of tea. I quickly punched in my resources into a calculator, and there's a good chance that what I've got currently may be enough to get to 99. I thought I'd be kind of halfway through 98, something like that, but if this calculator isn't lying to me, we might be actually completely good to go. Which is a bit of a big surprise, a pleasant surprise, because I'll be more than happy to not have to make any more planks. Even though I enjoy the method, the fact that it gives you 0 XP per hour is a bit of a deterrent, to be honest. So if we've got absolutely everything we need for 99, yeah, definitely signing up for that. But in general, 5 levels until this account is maxed. It's getting scary. It's getting very, very real. Quite surprised to give you this update, but due to farm runs and herb runs basically almost by themselves, we've gotten to 15 million farming experience. I recall how much of a struggle it was to be planting like the highest level trees and all that just to get to 99, and now that it's over, you kind of just passively get it day by day. So look, it's going to be a while before I get to 20 million, but it is kind of a nice surprise to get to 15, basically off exclusively herb runs. A little bit of snape grass as well, but predominantly, yeah, just the herbs. I've also managed to use all of my toadflax seeds from TOA, which is good because I did have quite a few of those, so I'm honestly kind of surprised to be done with those. But considering how many crushed bird nests I currently have, having an excess of toadflax will definitely be good. I've probably tipped the scales back in the other direction. I probably have too many toadflax now, and I might have to go back to the mole at some point soon. Before I get any construction experience, I just wanted to note down, like, you can't see my RuneLight UI, but I got 853.9k experience gained yesterday, and I look at my experience until the next level, and it's identical, more or less. Like, that is an insane coincidence. And I'm not just misreading the UI. I guess I can screenshot the UI just to prove that I'm not delusional. But I think if I can replicate what I did yesterday today, we'll get ourselves to 97. Although there's a pretty good chance I lose this screenshot by the time I edit this video. So if you see it in front of you right now, I've gone the extra mile. I've officially gotten more construction XP today than I did yesterday. I've put myself in the dirt. And I don't know why, but Larry seems to be the only NPC in which I actually get a level whenever I enter his house. I still don't like you, Larry, but I guess I'm warming up a little bit. Because there's another construction level. Marble spiral staircases. I never thought I would ever. I think the only thing I'm not really enjoying about this grind is that I can't fletch while I do it. I mean, I could fletch, but it would ruin my whole plan for the video. I want to go from hardest to easier skill, and if I leave fletching to last, as you can probably tell, it's not going to be too difficult to knock that one over. I've got quite a few darts I need to make, so I'm just running in the wrong direction entirely. I'm fighting the urge to fletch, but yeah, the urge is strong, but I shall persevere and will get this done the way I planned on doing it. I'm also really keen to get back into raiding. I don't know what it is at the moment. I think now that I've got my Fang, it really feels like TOA is unlocked, and because I enjoy the raid, like, I'm not contingent on getting a shadow to enjoy it. It's just, it doesn't cost a whole lot of resources. In the end, I profit greatly, and the seeds alone are a good incentive to keep on going. So I really, that's, if I could be anywhere right now, it'd be there, but I've got 2 more construction levels I need to get before I can allow myself to step foot into the sad pyramid. Although, now that I do have the Fang, it's not so sad anymore, I suppose. On average, I've been getting 1 construction level per day. To keep the trend continuing, this is how we're going to get level 98. And with that, 98 construction and base 98s, that's the goal that everybody goes for, right? We've accomplished that well and truly. Unlocking ourselves a bench, very cool. But yeah, man, just going into a bit of a construction trance. The skill itself isn't the best, but I've gotten to the point where it's numb and I don't feel it anymore, so that's good. I'll see you in about 6 hours when I'm finished. I gotta tell you, this is a good feeling. This will be the last time I need to put anything into a plank sack for the purposes of gaining construction experience. At least in the context of getting a skill cape. But once we head to Falador, we're going to get our final contract that needs to be done, and then we'll be done with this skill entirely. 2.3k experience to go. I feel a little stupid because I have work in the morning and I'm up later than I need to be, but you know how it is. If you get this close to getting a milestone completed, you just kind of have to forego sleep. It's a pre-gone conclusion that you're going to stay awake and you're going to finish what you started. During this grind, I really feel like I've just kind of mentally clocked off. Like I'm just not watching my main monitor and it's kind of like muscle memory is just carrying me to complete this skill. Which is kind of good. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just get so used to the content, my brain turns off and I can put my attention elsewhere. But it's no matter, good or bad, it is complete. There is 99 construction coming in. Not at Larry's house, thankfully, but there we go. 99 construction done. Still haven't got a house put together, but I guess this is my cue to get it started, because if I teleport to it, look, I'll give you permission to flame me. We've also hit 2275 total, which is insane. But yeah, this is my house. It has never been more developed than this, and it's a little more than maybe a skeleton. I've got a couple of teleport portals. It's like one of the most strongest skill capes in the game. The utility you get from this place is insane, but I need to go to bed. I'll think about I guess how I'm going to organize my house tomorrow, because yeah, I need to go right now. But in the meantime, 99 con, we can at least, for the very least, unlock ourselves a teleport with the new skill cape. I was going to wait until the morning to buy the skill cape, but we're going to go ahead and purchase this one. I feel like in the last few 99s I've received, I've just avoided the capes entirely. Haven't even put much thought into whether or not they're actually useful. I'm pretty sure the Herblore cape, the only thing it can realistically... Oh, it's not Amy, is it? Need to talk to old mate real estate. I'm pretty sure the only thing the Herblore thing allows you to do is get a pestilent mortal out of it. Yeah, there's got to be something more than that, surely. But let's buy ourselves a con cape. Unfortunately, reading is difficult while commentating, but there it is. I like to get 2 of them. Can't just get 1. That is just inadequate. But yeah, now we've got our skill cape under wraps. The second part of the plan will be to get ourselves a purple to celebrate. So the next leg of my journey will involve going back to TOA. Let's bang out an emote real quick while I discuss. So yeah, each 99 I get this video will be accompanied by a TOA purple. So look, it'll be a maxing video, but a shadow on top of all of that would be absolutely pristine. It's nice to set your hopes high, but I'm not really expecting it, so I give myself a good opportunity. If I run 350s, that chance will increase even higher, but we'll see what happens. Following that purple that we receive, we will then move on to the second hardest skill to get to 99 this video, that being 99 fire making. And look, it's going to take very little time compared to construction, so I feel like the progress is definitely going to speed up, at least when it comes to getting level gains. But with that said, it is time to bank my skilling equipment and get out my gear and armor and go back to TOA. Definitely unexpected to see this purple. This might be only 3 raids after the last stint that I did, so at this point, I dare say I'm pretty much spooned at this raid, to be honest. Like, I know I didn't feel lucky not getting my Fang for so long. I didn't realize I didn't turn this plugin off, but I guess it'll come in handy. If we check out TOA, we've gotten 14 purples in about 300 raids. I think what was throwing me off is just the fact that I didn't have the item that I wanted for so long, and I was only focused on that, not seeing the rest of the progress, I suppose. And as of yesterday, the new boss has come out, and Missouri seems to be a really quintessential element of taking that thing down. So Missouri, now on the priority list, I suppose. So hopefully with this purple here, we can try and lock ourselves down the body, or, you know, the old end game objective is always the shadow. So let's open this thing up here, see if we can get one of the uniques that we need, or if we're just going to get ourselves another duplicate. Let's see what we get. There is a light bearer number 8. You can't have too many of these, can you? Oh well, that is how we're going to celebrate 99 construction. It is now time to move on to the next 99 of the video. 199 is complete, 1 purple is complete, there's 2 more to go. To follow things up, we're going to go get ourselves 99 fire making. Was feeling a little bit nostalgic, and I thought I'd end my fire-making journey in the same way that I ended Time Wasted's quite a few years ago, but with one more U-log to burn. We'll get ourselves 99 fire-making, one log from now I suppose, but there it is, coming in nice. That'll wash away the light bearer from my memory, and I can focus on something positive. But there it is, the second last 99 we'll ever need to get. And all that is left to do now is fletching. But of course, to celebrate our new 99, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves another purple. Hopefully this time not a light bearer, but look, even if it is a light bearer, we can get a 99 and forget about that one as well. One thing that's been helping me with the dodging skull phase during Warden's part, whatever the hell this is going into GTA 1 viewing mode. Got this tip from Crow at the bank, I believe. But yeah, I've been able to dodge a little bit more better these days. That's very good English, but being able to see is just like the biggest issue I have with that. So putting the camera vertical definitely helps out. That is a ridiculous amount of seeds. I worked very hard for those, thank you very much. We're currently about 9 raids dry for a purple, and I've run out of potions to make, so I'm going to go down to the rogues den here. Have a look at how many marks of grace I actually got. I never ended up checking, but 2,600, what is that, 10 sets of graceful, I suppose. But with these, I'm going to buy some packs of amylase. That way we can make a bunch of stamina pots. For some reason I thought these packs were more than they are. I'll switch this to 50, and I'm just going to spend 1,000. Hopefully that isn't excessive, and hopefully the pack cost doesn't go up if you buy a bunch. I'll be very surprised, however, if it did. But this should last me a while. I've got quite a few Avanto potions, or the energy variants that are resulting from that. So we should be able to get a lot of experience in Herblore. I've already kind of switched my mentality. Once I've hit the 99, I'm kind of like already into post-99 mode. Which is good. I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't have that same drive to like grind a skill at all once I've got the 99, but I guess this is a good indication that it's not exactly the worst. A small little update as well is that I've gotten about 10 million cooking experience since the last time I mentioned it. I don't know, I kind of want to get to half a bill XP. I think that'll be a good milestone to go for, and I'm glad it actually seems appealing to do. One of the worries I had when maxing, or at least I'm kind of counting my chickens before they hatch, but one thing I was worried about is just not having that drive to work towards my skills. But for the time being, I'm more than happy to do so. So yeah, I'm glad to experience that, because I was a little bit worried that I'd kind of burn out after I got my max cape. What is that, bro? What? I found him again, 389, had a double check. He is in fact on world 389. If I ever see him on any other world, I will document that and keep it as evidence that he is a fraud, but until then, he is a legitimate 389er through and through. But I think he's onto me. There is no way in hell that just happened. So yeah, that raid where I died in the monkey room, that's how I was rewarded. We've got ourselves a purple here. It's taken us 23 raids to get this one this time around. But of course, to celebrate 99 fletching, we're going to open up another purple for the video here. Of course, we're chasing down the Missouri body, as well as the Tumican Shadow. I don't even want to make a joke about getting a light bearer, because I honestly... Is that 4? Do I have 4 of these now? Let's take a look. Eladinus Ward, put it into the inventory, check in with the collection log. TOA, I now own 4 of these wards. What is happening here? But of course, now that we've celebrated our 99, I guess we better go and get ourselves another one. The next one, of course, will be the final one we ever do, and that is 99 fletching. This is surreal. Man, oh man, if I thought starting this series felt strange, my god does it feel even stranger to think that it could be coming to an end, at least in the capacity of maxing the account. Of course, we're going to still progress after this point, but maxing, I've never done it before on any account, whether it be an Ironman, a regular, whatever. We got pretty far on Time Wasted, but that was one defense. That was never going to hit 2277. With that said, we've got 5,000 experience to go in fletching, and we're going to end things exactly where we began. Now, of course, we've got sailing coming up, so this will be maxing number 1 of 2 for the series, but for me, for my first time ever, I think it's time that I max my first ever old school Ironman account. There it is. 99 fletching, the max cape is now unlocked. I think we need to go ahead and go to an island. There's a lot of fireworks for this one in particular, because we have officially maxed out every single skill that this game currently has to offer, and that's been a long time coming. So without further ado, let's go to the island and get ourselves a new fancy cape. Got the rune crafting fit, of course, a bit nostalgic. It's quite a pivotal moment, but anyway, let's go to Berthorpe and pay a visit to old mate Max. I'm pretty sure these max capes, they cost like, what, 2.3 mil, 2277k? I don't know how am I even I have to go through the guild, don't I? I've busted out some fancy stuff here, but I've not realized I've not grabbed headless arrows, I've just grabbed arrow shafts. I got a lot of fletching XP banked. Kind of wanted to use it, but I also didn't want to get the 99 before others, but man, such a weird, strange feeling actually being done with this. I played this game for almost 20 years and I stopped making videos, stopped making content 10 years ago. I didn't think I'd ever like return to it, so to be in this position, very, very strange indeed. But it's good to be done. I'm glad I've accomplished this. This has been a goal of mine for as long as I've been playing the game. I think when you start this game, you know, you're like a little kid in 2007, it's like, you never think you're gonna finish this shit. There's no way, but apparently I need a pickaxe. Apparently it's possible, at least for me. And to be honest, I feel like I did this in like fairly decent time. I've definitely like had more time to play in the past, and I've never gotten this close before, but I think thanks to Jagex and the way they've progressed this game over time, it's kind of allowed me to, I don't know, incorporate methods that I wouldn't have done in the past, so it's allowed me to play more in like downtime sessions. How do I even get through this? This content, I've actually actively avoided watching other people do this. I wanted to have the novelty for myself of like reading the text and stuff. I know it's a bit goofy or whatever, but I kind of felt like, I don't know, like this is like Pokemon at the end where you like go into a bunch of secret areas and you kind of figure out a secret cave that you couldn't access at the start of the game, but now you can. But now it's my time to shine. I don't have to, how do I even get through this? Maybe I don't actually shine. Maybe I just fall on my ass, don't figure out, there we go. I think we've done it. I thought the game would like auto path me across, but apparently not. But I don't know. I really like this sort of end game, like rite of passage. You can only get here. He's got a level. That's kind of cool. I don't recall NPCs having combat levels apart from like, is it Vanica in the tutorial? But yeah, I can't read whilst commentating, so I'm going to read through some of this dialogue and get me a cape. Alright, I've inquired as to the nature of this man's sack and why there is a cape inside of it. We've gotten to the prompt where we can now buy the cape. It's actually a sick NPC. But there it is. It is official. I am now the proud... Oh, hello, wise old man. This is like Professor Oak calling me now. This is totally like Pokemon coded for sure. Get to have like a ethereal conversation with a pivotal NPC in the game. Fantastic. Even Hans is there. I don't know who Gillenor Guide is, but g'day mate, it's good to see you. I think he's from Tutorial Island as well. But yes, we now are the proud owner of a max cape. We've one-ticked that bad boy on. I think it's about time we send the emote. So, I don't know man, such a surreal moment, but I'm very satisfied to get it done. A lot of plans for the future. And I don't know how long this video is right now, so I'm going to check real quick and then go from there. I think the next thing I actually want to do, progress-wise, is use all of this fletching materials I have, and I thought of a downtime activity I could do at the same time would potentially to be doing some giant mole. So I know it might be a bit psychotic, but I think I'll make some darts and kill the giant mole as I kill it with a fang setup. Having that 5 ticks plus running around the arena, I think that'll be a good way to get through these nice and quick. I also believe I need to do some pest control, so I might actually do that first. I feel like fletching during PC is quite easy to do, quite sustainable, but I do need some Elite Void because the new boss has come out, the Delve boss. It looks like Elite Void is a pretty key setup for that, at least for those who do not own full Missouri. That being me, so I need to buy myself the top and the bottom, I do believe. I don't recall ever upgrading that, so that'll be the goal, I suppose. Do a little bit of fletching, do a little bit of pest control, and then we'll go from there. I think one downside of making these videos over the course of weeks is that I totally forget the things that I've said in the past. There's 2 things that come to mind immediately. First of which, I need to loot all of my cache of runes. I think I was meant to do that a while ago for another reason, but we're going to do that now. Of course, we will need to get our Elite Void done. I think I do have enough points. That'll be 2 things. And then the final thing that I can think of at the top of my head is that when we got 99 fire making, we totally didn't loot any of the permits. Wintertot now works in such a way that you don't get crates at the end. You get permits instead, much like you do for like Guardians of the Rift. Stuff like that, you get like a little token. I've got hundreds of those things that I need to redeem, so there's a good chance that we can go for the Phoenix pet. So first things first, let's upgrade our top and bottom Void Knight to be the elite variant. It'd be nice if I could do them both at the same time, but that's okay. We've got 256, looks like we can do both of them. Can I just use you on you? Beautiful. That's actually such a good shortcut. But yes, there is full Elite Void complete. and we've now fletched absolutely everything except for broad arrows, which isn't exactly appealing right now. I guess I don't think there's a lot of people that post-maxing immediately gun it to make broad arrows, not gonna lie, so I'm not gonna include my name in that list of individuals. Instead, I'm gonna go to Wintertot and maybe get a few more permits and see if we can pull ourselves a Phoenix pet, because I don't know if you've noticed, but my username kind of is contingent on that word existing in the first place, so I think that ideally is a pet that I do want to go for, and I'm not like a clogger or a pet hunting person, but the Phoenix pet, I gotta get it done, one way or another. So let's go to Wintertot and see what we can pull. So if you haven't seen it before, if we check this reward card, we'll see how many permits we have, 660. Now, before I go ahead and loot any of that or get any more permits, I'm going to immediately open these cache of runes. These are all from TOA. These can drop like 3,000 blood runes, so having this many, this is going to be fun. So let's just spam open these, see what we can do. See how many runes we can just inject. I guess I can just click down the bottom. And then I guess we've got ourselves a lot of blood barrages sponsored for. 572, that's kind of grim, not gonna lie. Not sure what we got on average just then, but anyway, free runes is free runes, I suppose. Low-key, was kind of expecting a little more, but I'm gonna go get myself a few more permits, and then get myself a pet from this reward cart. So I did about 4 hours of Wintertot just now, and I don't think I used a single rejuvenation potion dose at all. I don't know what is it about my gear or my fire, I don't even know what variable that is tweaked, but my warmth, it did drop, it did get low, but it never dropped low enough to the point where I was scared to drink this potion. I've only got a 3 dose because I accidentally drank one of those doses, but I think this is a good time to leave. I've gotten myself an additional 123 permits, so our chances are pretty good. Unfortunately, they've added the big search option, so I'm going to swap my left click to big search, and hopefully I can just left click it once, and it'll just continuously do big searches. But without any further ado, let's get looting. So I'm not sure what to expect here. Of course, the Phoenix pet is the ultimate thing that I'm hunting at the moment. I'm not sure how I'm going to organize my inventory. I thought I might be able to do these all in one swoop. Maybe I'll just hold on to the pages as well as the seeds for now. But yeah, the reason why I want the Phoenix pet so much is because back in the day, my username was actually inspired by a rune crafter back from like 2008. I can't remember the year precisely, going by the name of Phoenix Odin. So that's my origin story, how I kind of derived my username in the first place. I probably used this username for, I don't know, 15 years or something stupid. So it kind of holds a little place in my heart, that little Phoenix pet. I've always been a fan of the Phoenix in general. To have one in old school RuneScape was a little bit of a surprise. And I've never simply had one before. No matter what account I've played on, I've done quite a lot of Wintertot, and I've never managed to pull one of those fiery birds for myself. I think by the time I'm finished this all, I might post my loot tab. That's probably the better way to do this. That way, whenever I get a full inventory, I can just fully deposit away, and I can kind of just go through the loot tab like that, because I'm starting to notice that every time I go to the bank, it's getting shorter and shorter of a trip each time. But from a little preliminary kind of evaluation, we're getting a fair few Rainer seeds, which is good to see. And I guess I've played the long game meta. It used to be back in the day, you'd have to like wait until your fishing level was X level before you looted the items from the crates. I guess I've waited so long that everything's now 99, so if that mechanic still does apply, I guess I'm going to maximize absolutely everything. So in a way, this will be like loot from 723 maxed out Wintertot pulls, and I think that Pyromancer Hood might be the first duplicate that I've gotten, and fortunately it's been so long that since I've actually looted that my RuneLite screenshot, or the loot tracker itself, is completely wiped, and everything that I post with the following screenshot, once it's actually all complete, will be completely accurate. It's not going to be interrupted with loot that I got in the past. And there is another pair of legs. So what I might do is continue looting here. I might be here for a while. I'll keep you updated if anything happens, but I think, yeah, I'm going to be sticking my hands into the back of this wagon for a few minutes by the look of it. Although, I must say, doing all of these, like, grinds in the past and then just redeeming them right now after maxing, very, very satisfying way to do things. It does take a long time to build up towards these moments, but I guess that's what kind of makes them special, right? It wouldn't really mean a whole lot if I had 50 loots right now and I could be done in 10 seconds, but because I get to loot for a couple minutes straight, I don't know, it just feels like a bit of a victory lap, and a well-deserved one at that. There we go, managed to get ourselves another pair of Pyromancer boots. Although, we're over the halfway mark here, well and truly, so honestly, I'm getting a little worried. I don't know what the odds are with the amount of permits that I had just now, what my odds of getting a pet would be, but the way things are going, I'm getting a little concerned, because I'm not seeing any flying bird behind me. Alright, we should have a couple pulls to go, and then we will be completed. I don't know why, but it started looting them one at a time, and it really slowed things down, and it took me a long time to realize what was happening, but there is every single permit. I'll put on screen the screenshot of what we've got. Of note, 40 Snapdragon seeds, 69 Snapegrass seeds, 25 U seeds, 18 Raynar, 6 Magics, and a little bit of Cadentine, Quam, Dwarf, and Lantidime seeds, respectively. Almost got a full set of a duplicate armor, but I don't know, man. I think I'm going to have to come back to Wintertot. I don't know if my brain is being rewired and it just wants to do post 99, but honestly, fire making and the way that Jagex have changed it, the skill's pretty chill to train. Like, it's not as annoying as it used to be, and I'd be happy to come back here in the future, but I think my time at Wintertot, I'll have to retire for now. We're going to be Phoenixless for the time being, but in the future, we will remedy this for sure. It has to be done. It's simply destiny. You can't change it. The Phoenix will be inevitable, just not today. Today, I've been doing a little bit of AFK rock crabs. Well, this rock is a specifically rare rock crab. It has gems on top of it. This new monster came out not too long ago, and KT and I are just getting some AFK experience. For those who do not know, if you've never gotten the mining or the ability to mine the crab before, what you need to do is be one of the first 16 people to click on it. So what I like to do, mark a tile. I probably should shut my mouth and do it properly, but if you get through nice and quick, you can just stand on your tile, spam click the floor in a way that if you do spam click, you're not going to run around in circles. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get top 16 for this one, but I really thought this would be like damage dependent. Turns out that's not the case. Out of curiosity, I will see if I am one of the first 16, but I think I was yapping too much to concentrate and actually click on it properly. But after we get our results and see if we get to get a couple more gems, we'll then head to TOA, because of course, we've got ourselves a 99 to celebrate in the form of gathering a purple. I'm also thinking, do I get an additional purple due to maxing? I guess that's like a new skill cape in its own right? So if I feel like doing more than one purple, I'm going to give myself the ability to do that. It's strange, I'm gone from like perceiving getting one purple as a chore to getting one purple as a limitation, so depending on how I feel, I guess will kind of depend on how many purples I go for, but the minimum will be one. But who knows, if we manage to pull ourselves a shadow or something shiny like that, maybe we can go on a TOA holiday for a little bit. But overall, back to the gem crab discussion, I feel like this will be a good passive way to get some topaz. I hate mining gems. I don't know why, I'm just allergic to it. And if I can get like 10 or 20 topaz in an AFK day of like editing a video, like that's gonna add up, man. Like I'll be here for a little while. I don't know if it's a total like waste of time in terms of experience, but I don't know, it's like 10 minutes AFK, it's like the shooting stars of combat, and I really don't mind. Like I'm not trying to be efficient, I never have been with this series, and I don't know, it's kind of relaxing and most importantly, enjoyable. So I probably will be here for a little bit. I probably should get a gem bag though, because I'm gonna have to end up dropping a lot of like necessary ones like sapphires if I do want to make room for these topaz. But we're gonna test if we get gems from this crab, see if I was slow, and maybe do a proof of concept of how to spam click and actually get borderline guaranteed MVP status. Alright, turns out we're not able to mine the gem unfortunately, but if I quickly get through this cave, hopefully I can show you in action. Mark a tile for yourself, spam click the floor underneath you so you don't move, and hopefully when the crab spawns, you'll instantly click it and you'll be one of the first 16 people, aka a gem collecting demon. Although I do slightly regret being this early to it, because I feel like I'm obligated to stay for the rest of it. It's 3 gems, yet I'm going to stand here for 10 minutes. Definitely nothing but efficient gameplay right here. I guess technically I've already gotten something purple today. I think the dragon stones are pretty rare from the crab. Let's see if I can pull another one behind. Let's mine ourselves some gems. We've got a jade, an emerald. For me, all I really care about is the topaz. I guess the dragon stones are kind of nice, but it is time to get back into the raid. Wish me luck. Not that I need it for purples, but specifically for a unique. But I don't know, I think we're traveling pretty well these days. I think we're eating pretty good. But overall, if you've never tried out the gemstone crab, it's kind of like Wintertot for combat. It's good. It's a good place to be. The chats aren't as delinquent as Wintertot, but who knows? Maybe I've just been hanging out with the wrong crowd. I think I've lost momentum with TOA. I've done about 4 or 5 of them tonight, and I really feel like I need a Herblore break, but coincidentally, it's going to allow us to get to 15 mil Herblore. I feel like if I get into a groove with TOA, I can just bang them out back to back, but since it's been a couple of days, I've lost that kind of spark, and it's kind of fatiguing to do them, but I don't know, 4 or 5, not too bad, but I don't know, I've had days where I'll do 10 plus and it feels like absolutely nothing, absolute light work, but today is not one of those days. But who knows, it could just be a fatigue thing. I'm kind of rewiring my brain to AFK activities, fire making, herblore, gem crab cooking. A lot of this I'm kind of just sitting on my ass and not really paying attention, and then going into expert raids, it's a bit of a genre switch, so I feel like once I do a few more, I'll get into the rhythm of things once again, and I can stop feeling like it's such a jarring experience to do a raid once again. But I think we'll pick up tomorrow from where we left off today and see if we can do some more damage and improve that KC count a little more. We've now hit 180. I'm kind of looking forward to hitting 200. I feel like less and less of a noob. Every like 10 kills, that sort of increment kind of feels like my KC. I'm becoming more and more experienced, and I think 200 plus will be nice to get. A nice little milestone for sure, and I'm actually curious what my KC is going to end up being by the time I've greenlogged that place. For those who have greenlogged TOA, let me know what your KC was. I'm very curious to see. Also, which invocations that you like to run. I'm like morbidly curious on like how dry some people went. If I do that, I guess I can prepare for the worst, I suppose. That is the first time I've ever had to kill myself because I've forgotten to take the pickaxe out of the statue. That's kind of crazy. You can't actually go back through if you forget the pickaxe, and you're just stuck there and you have to die. I'm kind of glad I decided to get back into TOA because it didn't take too long before we saw ourselves our next purple. Only 11 raids were required to see that shining beautiful light at the end of the tunnel. Let's go see what's actually inside of the chest. As I was getting prepared to record the opening of this chest, my cat stole my chair, so I'm now standing up. This is the first ever clip in this entire series that I've recorded standing up. But yeah, that raid, she was just chilling on my lap, so let's see if Jagex favors kitty cats, if that boosts your RNG. So many of them have been sacrificed for death runes. I wonder if their sacrifice is going to be worth it. Okay, Missouri Mask. I think that's the second one I have now. In general, my Missouri RNG ain't too bad. It's just unfortunate that we didn't quite get ourselves the chest piece. But if we have a look here, Tombs of Amaskets, look at that, 79th percentile freakish luck. A little bit unlucky on the chest, but the mask and the legs, I mean, duplicates all around the board. I think the biggest thing I'm surprised about though is the fact that I've only got one fang at this point. I think that's pretty hectic considering how many duplicates of everything else I've got. You'd think I'd have multiple fangs by now. But I'm at a bit of a crossroads. What do I do? Do I end the video here? Or do I get another purple? Judging by the fact that you can probably hover over this YouTube video and see that there's a couple minutes left, I'm going to get another one. 11 raids, I can do more than that. And if we're going to get a purple that early, I might as well send it and try and get it back to back. This can't be my destiny for the back-to-back run. That is crazy. Definitely cooked the chook on that one, but fortunately we made it to the very end. I never record a clip going for a back-to-back, but I'm going to be greedy, alright? If it's going to be any video that I'm going to have a bit of greed about me, it's going to be this one. I feel like I've kind of earned the right. Although I'll do it once and I'll never try to do it again. Maybe I'm lying, maybe I'm not, but what do we get? A white light, that is okay. Can't complain, my RNG has been pretty good lately. A Jewel of a Masket, I think I've got 7 of those now, and some more Super Strength 4 potions. Just what I needed. I've never been one for superstition, but I'll buy into it. What have I got to lose? My pants? Let's see, where can I put these pants? Okay, pants are off. We make the pantsless walk to the chest. We are currently 59 raids dry of anything. If this chest is white, my pants are off and I'm 60 raids dry. Now that my pants are off, it's all fair game. We're trying Insanity for the very first time here. I thought of doing a 150 to kind of dip my toe into the water, but decided just to go for a 300, turn dehydration off, and try and use those ambrosias and all the other resources to keep me up. So here is how my first ever Insanity went. I need my Thrall to carry me because I'm pretty sure my DPS is so reduced right now. I did it. There's no way. Holy shit. Alright, that was my first ever attempt at Insanity. That's a couple of achievements done. We're still 60 something raids dry, but I guess that's a proof of concept. I don't know if I just saw it for a glimpse there, what the color was, but I didn't see it. My camera may have, but I did not. You're joking. This is it. No way. I'm almost in disbelief that I've actually got a purple in front of me. 62 raids it took to get here, and it turns out insanity was the key all along. I'm still shaking, like, that was... I had Jad hands doing that, but let's see, to wrap this video off, what we're going to end up on. Is it going to reward us for our efforts? It's a piece of Missouri, but it's not the one we're looking for. Is that the third time I've ended with a Missouri piece? I think it is, but we'll take the Missouri mask and end it there. This one's taken a while to make, so hopefully it was enjoyable. We'll send that one straight to the bank, not accidentally deleted it. Don't know why they swapped those two around, but purples do exist again. So that's the story of how I managed to max my RuneScape account, at least up until this point. With sailing coming out in the next few months, we will of course need to push our total level approximately 99 levels higher, but in the meantime we are completed in the skills menu and it's nice to see. I'm glad I managed to reach this goal before any new skill was released, because to me, RuneScape for the longest time was 2277 as a maximum total level. But even though we've hit the maximum total level for now, there is still a lot of things that need to be done on this account, even with sailing not being released. A lot of endgame grinds that I've never stuck my teeth into before. It should be a lot of fun. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching these videos up until this point. It's been a lot of fun to revisit this game. I didn't think I'd ever play it after I quit making videos like 10 years ago. So thank you for once again hopping on the train of whatever this content creation is. I look forward to making more videos on this account and others in the future, and I hope you look forward to seeing them as well. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.